Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Students, today our topic is balance of payments and its components. In financial accounting, you prepare balance sheet in which assets and liabilities of any business concern they are given and balance sheet is always balanced. Similarly, balance of payments is an account in which a country's imports and exports, capital movements and gold and foreign exchange movements are recorded. Balance of payments, as defined by Kindleberger, is a systematic account of all economic transactions between residents of a country and rest of the world over a period of time, usually 1 year. Then there is another term, balance of trade. Balance of trade and balance of payments. They are two different terms which confuse the students. These two are explained here. Balance of trade or balance of international trade means a statement that includes the total value of exports and imports of visible commodities. Visible commodities means goods of a country during a year. By visible commodities is meant the commodities which when exported or imported are recorded in the trade accounts at the ports. Balance of payments is a statistical statement of income and expenditure both on the visible and invisible items of trade on international accounts during a year. Invisible items include all receipts and payments made for the international services such as banking, shipping, insurance, and travel, etc. So, visible exports and imports means goods and commodities which are exported and imported. And invisible exports and imports means services which are rendered or which are received by a country. When we render services to other countries, then we earn foreign exchange for our services. And when we get services from other countries for ourselves, then we have to pay foreign exchange for those services. So, this is the meaning of visible and invisible. When the total value of visible exports is more than the total value of visible imports during a year, the country is said to have a favorable or positive balance of trade. When the total value of visible exports goods is less than the total value of imports, the country is said to have unfavorable balance of trade. The modern economists say that a country's prosperity or adversity is not judged by its favorable or unfavorable balance of trade, but by its favorable or unfavorable balance of payments. Temporarily, a country may have favorable balance of payments, but in the long run, it must balance its BOP account. In BOT or balance of trade, we include these two items, that is visible exports and imports and invisible exports and imports, that is goods and commodities and services. Some economists they also include in it transfer payments, that is the foreign exchange which we get from other countries and which we pay to our countries, remittances. But most of the economists they are of the view that balance of trade should include only two items, visible exports and imports, that is of goods and commodities, and invisible goods, that is services. We may say that balance of trade BOT is a part of balance of payments BOP. BOT includes a country's visible exports and visible imports only, whereas balance of payments also includes a country's invisible exports and imports, international services of banking, shipping, and insurance, etc., rendered and received. It also includes capital movements, capital account, and changes in foreign exchange reserves or official settlement account. So balance of payments account has three parts or three components. Number one, current account. Number two, capital account. And number three, official settlement account. Current account includes the following credit items. Number one, value of goods exported. Number two, payments received from foreigners for rendering banking, insurance, and shipping services, etc. to them. Number three, travel expenditure of the foreign tourists in the country. Four, expenditure of foreign students. Number five, remittances of money by the nationals of the country living in other countries. Number six, income or investment, interest and dividend, etc., received from abroad. Number seven, charity contribution received from abroad. Now, here you see that every item which brings foreign exchange in our country, that is included in the credit items of the current account. It includes goods exported, it includes services, remuneration which we get from our services, it includes travel expenditure of foreigners who come to our country for tourists as tourists, then expenditure of foreign students who are living in Pakistan and they bring foreign exchange to consume here in our country. The remittances of money by the nationals of the country living in other countries, just as our millions of people have gone to other countries abroad, they are working there and they are earning there and they send some amount to their relatives in Pakistan. That foreign exchange is also a very valuable item for our BOP. Then income or investment, interest and dividend. Interest is which we give loan to others or foreigners abroad. Then we earn interest on that loan. And dividend means if we have purchased the shares, the certificates, the stock of other companies or foreign companies, we get dividend on those shares and stock, etc. Then current account includes the following debit items. Debit items means in which we consume our foreign exchange, we pay our foreign exchange to other countries. Number one is value of goods imported, so that we have to pay for those goods. When we import goods, we have to pay the prices of those goods. The number two, payments made to the foreigners for getting banking, insurance, and shipping services, etc., for the country. That is when we get services of foreign companies, shipping companies, banking, insurance companies, etc., then we pay for those services. This is also a debit item in our current account. We consume foreign exchange for it. The number three is travel expenditure of countries tourists in other countries. That is when our tourists, when our people go to other countries, where they travel to other countries, then we pay expenditure in the foreign exchange. So this is also a debit item. The number five, remittances by the foreigners to their home countries. Just as our people have gone to other countries to earn their livelihood and they send money, they send foreign exchange to Pakistan to their relatives. Similarly, the foreigners who are living in Pakistan, they are earning here, they send money to their country, to their relatives. So this is a debit item because in it foreign exchange goes out of our country. The number six is interest and dividend paid to foreign countries. Interest on loans and dividend on shares and certificates which are held by the foreigners. We have to pay that amount will go out of the country. Then seven, donations sent to other countries. Donations when there is any calamity, there is any happening for which human lives are at stake, earthquake, floods, etc. So countries send donations to each other at the time of that hardship. Then the second component of BOP is capital account. Capital account, it includes all the capital movements between our country and other countries. The following transactions are recorded on credit side of this account. Credit side items will be those in which the capital comes in our country. Number one is net private and government loan received. When we get any loan from any government or from other foreigners, private sector, then that capital comes in our country. The number two is net private and government foreign investment. When any government makes investment in our country, then it brings capital in our country. So this is a credit item. And similarly, when private sector of other countries, just like China, Turkey, etc., the companies of these other countries, they come and invest in Pakistan, they bring capital in Pakistan. So this is credit item. Then the debit items of capital account are just reverse, that is net amount of loans given to other countries. If Pakistan gives a loan to other countries, then the capital will go out of the country and this will be a debit item in our capital account. Number two is net amount of investment made in other countries. If Pakistan starts any project in any other country, then the capital invested in that project that will go out of our country and this will be debit item of our capital account. Number three is official settlement account. This account records movement of gold and foreign exchange to and from the country. Our inflow of gold and foreign exchange increases the country's gold and foreign exchange reserves. Outflow of gold and foreign exchange decreases the country's gold and foreign exchange reserves. This account is maintained by State Bank of Pakistan in our country, and when movement of gold and foreign exchange is inside inflow of gold and foreign exchange, then it comes into our country. This is a healthy sign and our foreign exchange reserves they increase. And when we pay our loans, installments or interest on those loans, then gold and foreign exchange goes out of our country. So this is not a healthy sign for our offshore reserves, for our foreign exchange reserves. Then we see what are the causes of persistent deficit in BOP of account. Students, BOP of a country may be balanced. It means when its debit side and credit side they are equal, then we shall say that it is balanced. When the credit side, that is when we earn or get more foreign exchange as our payments of foreign exchange, then it is a healthy sign and our foreign position of BOP is becomes better. But when there is opposite, that is when we pay more foreign exchange to other countries than we earn in a year, then our BOP becomes deficit or in disequilibrium. Now we discuss what are the causes of persistent deficit in BOP of Pakistan. Following are the main causes of persistent deficit or disequilibrium in the BOP of Pakistan. Number one, rapid increase in the volume of imports. Pakistan is going through the process of industrialization. Pakistan has to import capital goods, machinery, iron, steel, metals, transport equipment, electrical machinery, and chemical fertilizers, etc., from abroad. Visible goods and invisible services sector both go in deficit. Hence, current account of the BOP remains in deficit. This is the first cause because we are promoting our industrial sector, and for that industrial sector we have to get machinery and capital equipments, etc., from abroad, from other countries, and we have to pay for that. So therefore our foreign exchange goes out of the country. This is an expenditure in our current account. The number two is export of primary products. By primary products, we mean those things which are at the initial stage, at the very beginning stage. Agriculture goods are known as primary products, and the countries whose economy is agricultural, agrarian, they are known as primary producers. Pakistan basically is an agricultural country, so therefore it is also a primary producer. Pakistan is basically an agriculture country. It mainly exports primary products, just as rice, raw cotton, raw wool, wheat, leather, fish, vegetables, and fruits, etc. Production of our exported goods is uncertain because all these relate to agriculture sector, and agriculture sector is dominated by nature. Besides it, these primary products give less foreign exchange to the country. You know, if cotton, raw cotton, is exported, it will give us less foreign exchange, we will earn less foreign exchange. But when we import cloth from other countries, then we have to pay more for that. So Pakistan should increase its industrial goods rather than primary goods. Production of our exported goods is uncertain because of natural factors. Besides it, these primary products give less foreign exchange to the country. Industrial goods, capital goods, machinery, etc., that is costly, and we have to pay more prices, more foreign exchange for these things, and what we earn is less because we earn by exporting our primary products. Number three, substitutes of our exports. Developed countries have introduced substitutes of our goods in the form of nylon and polyester for cotton and its products. Therefore, our cotton exports have declined. Our cotton is used for packing purpose and for making cloth, but for packing purpose the other countries they have introduced substitutes in the form of nylon and polyester. Bags are made by nylon and polyester, etc., and now they do not get our cotton for making bags for packing purpose. Number four, import duties on our exports by developed countries like America, Japan, and Britain, etc. Pakistan has to face tough competition in the international markets. Students, all the countries they impose import duties on their imports so that these imported goods may become costlier and people may be discouraged to use those imported goods. When Pakistan imports a car from any other country, then it imposes imported duty, custom duty, import duty on that car, and it becomes costlier. Similarly, the other countries, when they import goods from Pakistan, they also impose import duties or custom duties on our goods, and in this way, those goods become costlier and people are discouraged to use Pakistani goods. Number five, advanced countries have also restricted our exports by imposing quotas. A student quota system is that a country decides that what quantity of particular commodity is to be imported in a year, and when that quantity is got, then the import of that commodity is restricted. Pakistan also imposes quotas for imports. The number six is import of consumer goods. Students, consumer goods are those which are of the daily requirements of the people, which they consume in their daily life. Cloth, bread, meat, beef, poultry, eggs, butter, all these things, they are consumer goods. Due to population pressure, Pakistan has also to import consumer good necessities as wheat, sugar, tea, and pulses, etc., from abroad. Recently, you know that this the season of wheat has gone, and the government has purchased a large quantity of wheat from the farmers, and the other companies, private sector has not been allowed to purchase wheat. And now the government has planned to import wheat because wheat is comparatively less than our requirements. And now we are importing wheat. Just after the season of wheat, we are in need of imported wheat. So we will have to we will have to consume our valuable foreign exchange on import of wheat in coming days. Number 7 is rise in oil prices. When petroleum exporting countries increase the prices of oil, our import bill immediately goes up, which creates deficit in our BOP. Number 8, inflation. Due to inflation in the international market, the prices of machinery, equipment, and the raw material go on increasing, which cause a rise in the prices of our imports. Number 9 is deterioration in Pakistan's terms of trade. Our terms of trade have been deteriorating since long, due to which we are losing a part of our export earnings. This factor has also increased the deficit of our BOP. A student terms of trade means that on what terms we make trade transactions with other countries. So these terms of trades are favorable to some country and unfavorable to another country. If we are in serious need of a particular commodity which we import from other countries, we will have to pay more for that, more price for that. And the other country, if he is not interested in importing our products, or he has less need of our products, then he will be in a better position. And in this way, terms of trade will be in favor of other country and not in favor of Pakistan. Now we take an example. Take in 1991, the year 1990-91 as a base equal to 100. Our terms of trade in 2012-13 were as follows. TOT means terms of trade equal to export price index divided by import price index multiplied by 100. That is, in this way we shall compare the value which we shall get with the value of the base year. Base year is equal to 100, and the other year what is the value, that will be calculated, and we should see whether we have earned more or we have lost something. So TOT is equal to export price index divided by import price index multiplied by 100, that is 700.09, that is 1308 divided by 1308.92 multiplied by 100, that is 53.49. These indices are calculated according to statistics, and we compare them by fixing a base year equal to 100. Now, if in 1991 our index was 100, then 2012 and 13 our index came 53.49. That means we have lost our foreign exchange by 46.51%. This shows that we lost about 46.51% of our export earnings in 2012-13 due to price mechanism in the international market. Number 10, debt servicing. Pakistan has taken billions of dollars from other countries, IMF, World Bank, etc., as loan. Pakistan has to pay interest, etc., on the loans regularly every year. This factor has also increased our BOP deficit. Now we see what measures the government has taken to rectify deficit in BOP. Number 1 is reduction in imports by producing import substitutes in the country. Production of steel, agricultural goods, oil, etc. has increased. So government trying to reduce imports of these things which we can produce in our own country. Number B, some imports are put on the ban list or quota system. That is, ban list, they are prohibited, they are not imported. And quota system, that is a particular quantity is fixed for that. Say, for example, if the government fixes that in this year only 1000 Toyota cars will be imported, this is quota. So quota is decided, and the import of Toyota cars will only be 1000 and not more than that. Then C is import duties on imports like cars, air conditioners, etc. are frequently increased. When we purchase, say, cars from other countries, we purchase, for example, a car for 10 lakh rupees, we impose duty of say 5 lakh rupees on it, then it becomes costlier. And when the price of a commodity goes up, the people purchase that commodity less than before. Number two is measures to promote exports. These measures include Trade Development Authority of Pakistan, Export Credit Guarantee Scheme, Pakistan Standards Institute, Trading Corporation of Pakistan, Cotton Export Corporation, trade agreements with other countries, export processing zones, that is the areas where we process our exportable goods, export finance scheme and refinance scheme, etc. Finance scheme and refinance scheme is that if the traders, businessmen are in need of loan, they go to the commercial banks. Commercial banks give loan to the businessmen. This is financing. And when the commercial banks are in need of financing, then they go to the central bank, that is State Bank of Pakistan, and get finances from that. This is refinance scheme. The number three, devaluation of currency. The government of Pakistan has been attempting to devalue its currency from time to time to boost up exports. In May 1972, in Z. Bhutto's regime, Pakistan rupee was devalued by 131% in rupee terms. Consequently, our exports became cheaper in the international markets and our exports were increased to a large extent. On the other hand, imports became costly and their demand fell down. In this way, our BOP improved to some extent temporarily. The present PTI government also devalued rupee for fulfillment of conditions laid by IMF for grant of a new loan to Pakistan. So, student, devaluation is helpful evaluation. That is, the economy should be in such a position that when we will get increased orders from the foreign countries, we shall be in position to fulfill those orders. If we are not in a position to fulfill those orders, then the devaluation will give us a very loss, a huge loss. So, if our economic conditions are not favorable to increase the production of such goods, then devaluation becomes harmful for the country. So, this is our present topic, balance of payments and its components. We have discussed all the necessary things in it. Thank you very much.